if you've ever seen somebody hyperfixate on the consumerism aspect of how to build out a rifle rather than the actual application of use as a rifleman and knowing your basic fundamentals, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average rifleman mentor that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is I'm going to tell you where you're falling short and give you some reminder cues for your journey to becoming a competent rifleman, because so many people that watch this video and so many people that consume my content are consumers, not riflemen. So today we're going to give you a little bit of a reminder on some of the things you need to be considering in order to be a competent shooter and a competent rifleman. Before we get into it, guys, if you want to support this content, you want to support my channel, hit the like button, comment down below mistakes you've made on your journey to becoming a competent shooter, competent rifleman, and if you've fallen victim to the entertainment on YouTube rather than the actual educational content and trainers on YouTube, well, go ahead and give me some support down below, comment, and all the things. Share this video with a buddy, and if you want to support this channel for some reason monetarily, so that way I actually continue making content for you guys, then join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gets you access to a Discord server where you can find buddies to train with, game with, stay up late, and all the things. Okay, so often in the gun community, firearm space, you have entertainers, right? Entertainers, and a lot of these guys, they might come from a place of, from a place of good, but a lot of times they're misleading their audience, whether it be intentionally, in most cases, right? So things like this that you guys are hyper fixated on that don't matter as much as you think it does. Optic selection. Okay, so many guys are like, I got a Leupold, I got a Night Force LPVO, I got my trash Strike Eagle 1-6 from Vortex. That's objectively speaking one of the worst optics you can ever use or put on a gun. But guys are getting hyper fixated, hyper focused on the optic selection. So let me just break this down freaking Barney style for you. Buy a CCO, an aim point product, an aim point red dot, and put that on the gun. Or buy an EOTech EXPS3-0 or EXPS2 and put that on the gun, okay, based on if you're running night vision, or just buy a freaking ACOG TA31 Trigicon and put that on the gun. Stop hyperfixating on the optic selection. Look at what optic has been used the most effectively recently and moving forward, right? Do not recommend you go out and buy the new SIG optic that is failed, that they're trying to put on the XM7 project, or the Spear, right? That's a bad idea. So many of you guys are buying these LPVOs and you're gonna regret it, okay? So being a rifleman is not about the nice fancy optic. It's about understanding your zero, understanding your holds at distance. I ask people all the time, what's your height over bore for that CQB shot? What's your height over bore? They don't know what I'm talking about, right? And if you don't know what height over bore is, you might want to educate yourself, but it's exactly what it says. The height of your optic over your bore at CQB distances is going to give you a miss or a neck shot rather than a hit and a headshot. So you guys need to understand your height over bore. So often you hear guys hyperfixating on their LPVO with their offset red dot. It's like, dude, you are a FUD. You just don't know it. Let me tell you what you're never going to use. You're never going to use that LPVO the way you think you are. You're never going to use that offset red dot the way you think you are. The guys that have an LPVO with an offset red dot don't shoot, okay? Go run any sort of close engagement with either the one time or the offset red dot, and you're going to hate your life, okay? Both due to parallax and conversion of where your offset dot is zeroed on to your bore at different varying distances. It's different than height over bore with a standard dot, right? Also, LPVOs are generally speaking not as reliable and durable as other optic choices, such as a holographic EOTech or an aim point red dot, or even I'll be honest, if you showed up to a course and you had a Holosun 503, I would respect you more than if you showed up with an LPVO, okay? So all of that to say, guys need to understand MOA, minute of angle, okay? Guys need to understand their holds at varying distances. Guys need to understand the ammo the ammo they're using and how it performs in wind, how it performs from a high angle shot or a low angle shot, from high elevation to low elevation, from low elevation to high elevation. That's the things that people need to understand more importantly than their optic selection. If I had to tell a new gun owner one piece of advice, it'd be to just buy an aim point and put an EOTech magnifier behind an aim point, right? Red dot, and then just rock that for the next couple years, and you're welcome. Past that would be a freaking Trijicon ACOG, right? And that's a whole nother discussion, but that's what I use. A Trijicon ACOG with an RMR on top, and it works good for night vision. It works good for four times engagements, all the way out to 500, 600 meters. So pretty good choice there. But being a rifleman is not about being a consumer of optics, okay? Being a rifleman is about understanding your tool, understanding the bullet that you're putting in the gun. Next thing to understand, ballistics, internal, external, and terminal. Internal is everything that happens to the bullet inside the gun. External is everything that happens to the bullet during the path of flight to the target. And terminal ballistics, everything that happens to the bullet once it hits its intended target or unintended target, right? Guys don't understand ballistics. Guys need to understand ballistics. It's literally the most important thing of shooting as a rifleman is understanding ballistics, okay? So internal, external, and terminal ballistics, all of them play a factor. What plays an external and internal is going to be your rifling, what kind of barrel you have, what type of ammo you have, how it's interfacing with the actual gun itself, okay? Everything that impacts it for external is going to be things like wind, gravity, okay? Things of that nature, ambient temperature, okay? So wind, gravity, ambient temperature, stuff like that. Terminal ballistics is how your bullet is going to perform in soft tissue or on barricades, right? So if you're shooting 55 grain and it's performing like 55 grain because it's a trash loading, for the barrel length that you chose, because you chose a 10.3 inch barrel, because a 10.3 inch barrel cannot effectively use a 55 grain 5.56 round. Well, there you go. Now you're not a rifleman, you're just an idiot. So understanding ballistics is going to be huge for your journey than actually becoming a user of this stuff and not a consumer of product, right? Okay, slings. A lot of guys have bad slings. You have to have a good sling. It's what holds the gun to the body. It's what allows you to transition to your secondary. So many guys are getting caught up in everything else and they're forgetting about slings. So you need to have a good sling. I like T-Rex arms, okay? You guys choose whatever sling. It needs to be easily adjustable and easily collapsible. Easily open it, easily collapse it. Shouldn't be a big ordeal, okay? It should be a very simple mechanism. I've had coworkers that I work with, they show up with this super intricate sling design. I'm like, you're an idiot. Use it for me. Okay, you can't. You don't know how to open it, close it. Yeah, it's trash, right? So slings, you have to have it. What I'm trying to get at here, guys, is a lot of you guys have never even considered the prone supported, prone unsupported, the kneeling supported, the kneeling unsupported, the standing supported, the standing unsupported, actually moving with the gun, actually manipulating your safety when you're coming off, before you come off target to get into position for another engagement, actually doing the thing, right? Considering how your white light is set up on the gun so you can actually use it. It's kind of a big deal. So many guys are using pressure switches, and they're going to find out real soon, once they start using that thing for realsies, that a pressure switch is just asking for a white light ND. And for the vast majority of the places that I've lived, whether it be high humidity, high heat, or low temp areas, that pressure switch is going to fail you, and you're gonna want to go to a manual system, okay? But so many guys are caught up in this consumerism OODA loop where they buy a thing, they get hyperfixated on the thing for a couple weeks, and then they move on to the next thing. They never actually get good with the rifle that they're using. And that's the problem I have, is when I open up my Instagram, open up my YouTube feed, and I see a dude buying a different gun and they suck at shooting. Like, objectively speaking, they can't group to save their life. The definition of grouping is at 25 meters, you shoot 4 out of 5 rounds in a 6 centimeter circle, but then you do it twice in a row. So 8 out of 10 rounds in a 6 centimeter circle from 25 meters. So many guys can't even perform this basic task, and that's why I'm kind of making this video, is like, if you're that YouTuber that stumbles upon this content, or you're that content consumer that's just a member of this community that stumbles upon this content, it's like, you need to understand. Stop switching up your rifle. Stop hyperfixating on barrel length. Stop hyperfixating on stuff of this nature. Get good with what you have. Buy once, cry once. Get good with what you have. Understand ballistics. Understand minute of angle, what it actually means to group, what it actually means for your holds at varying distances, and get good with the product or the thing that you actually have, right? The gun you actually are going to use. Stop buying new all the time. Stop being a consumer. Marry your rifle, right? Build the rifle, marry it, become a rifleman. Understand ballistics, understand your holds, understand height over bore, understand ammunition selection for your barrel length, understand suppressors and what suppressor is best for you. Huxworks 556K. There you go. You're welcome. That'll save you a lot of time. But yeah, understand your actual build, understand things outside of just the consumerism aspect, right? Um, this is going to set you up for success more than you know, okay, guys? Well, if this helped you out on your journey, let me know down below in the comments. Be like, Trench, this helped me out. I fall victim to consumerism, and this is what I bought, okay? If you're buying an AK Kalashnikov in 2025, you've probably been misled already, right? Unless you have like a surplus of 20,000 rounds of 545, 7.62 by 39, right? And if you're buying a 5.56 AK, you're probably an idiot because 5.56 performs way better out of an AR-15 platform than it does an AK. Okay, there's my 2 cents there. Figure out what rifle you're going to use. Get good with that rifle. Stop hyperfixating on the build aspect, and understand your rifle's capabilities, what its maximum effective range is, what its maximum area range engagement is, what its maximum target engagement is, right? And go from there, okay? If you don't know your rifle's muzzle velocity, its weight, and its barrel twist, and its actual action, is it a shoulder fire, gas operated, air cooled, magazine fed, semi-automatic rifle that fires from the closed bolt position, fires a 5.56, projectile. It has a right hand 1 7 twist barrel with a muzzle velocity of 2,945 or whatever your barrel length is, right? So figure that stuff out with a 500, meter engagement for point target and a 600 meter engagement for area target. These are things you need to be able to spit off, right? So go get your life together, figure it out. I'll be posting the Tatiana 2,000 round burn down in the next 24 hours. So if you're just waiting on that, there you go. Support this channel by commenting, liking it, sharing with a buddy, and becoming a member of the Patreon. If 5 guys become a member of the Patreon, it makes me happy. It makes me want to continue making content. Thanks for being here. Until next time, this will be Trench Grenade, your average rifleman, advocate, mentorship, enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.
Wolverines!
Repeat, and it'll end back there. Okay, so a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 rounds, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm running so the gun I'm going to be running for this drill is just a Daniel Defense with a 16-inch Surefire ACOG with RMR on top. So I'm going to be shooting RMR. He's going to be shooting EOTech. We'll see if it affects our times at all. All right, you ready? 13.22. We'll run it one more time. All right, good. 13.60. Makes sense because they're running back and forth. Okay, we're going to switch out shooters and see how you do.